Harper Audio presents Moving Target by Elizabeth Lowell, performed by Maria Tucci. The woman smiled grimly into the rearview mirror of her old pickup truck. The man following her in the white Toyota sedan had blended right into the freeway, but he ran out of luck as the roads grew narrower and lonelier on the dirt track that led to her isolated home. For more than 50 years, she had outfoxed the fox. Now she finally had been run to ground. But she wouldn't be easy prey, nor would she surrender the ancient, priceless Book of the Learned. She would die first. Her certainty that death was closing in on her made time hammer like a waterfall on the stubborn boulder of her life. Was that how the female descendants of the first Serena felt when their death time came? Did they look at the old worn loom that had passed through generations of weavers? Did they lift frail hands to the shuttle to add their own final lines to the ancient pattern? She didn't know. She never would. So much had been lost to the devouring cataract of time. So much, but not all. Words whispered through generations of women told her that in the beginning, the Book of the Learned had been more than 600 pages long. Time and desperate circumstances had reduced the number to 507. Those pages held the accumulated history and wisdom of the learned. No weaver in 7 generations had been able to decipher the lean, elegant words that graced the Book of the Learned. But no one doubted the value of the object itself. The binding was studded with vivid gems that were the heart of the intricate, mysterious designs etched into the solid gold cover. And now again, the ancient pages were at risk. She braked in a cloud of grit and dirt, shut off the engine, and grabbed for the package on the seat beside her. It was the precious pages inside that had lured her out of hiding, forced her to reach back into the dangerous past she'd spent her life running from, just as she must run now. With a determination that had gotten her through almost 8 decades of life, she forced her thin legs to run the short steps to the cabin. Panting, she wrenched open the door and stumbled inside just as a white car shot over the crest and into the hidden hollow. She slammed the cabin door and levered a yard-long iron bar into place across it. Then she closed the interior shutters on the 2 windows and bolted them into place. The darkness inside was nearly absolute. But she didn't need a light to find her way. She had built the stone and wood cabin with her own hands. She limped to the pegs over the door where the shotgun waited. She knew it was loaded. It always was. A fist pounded on the front door. "Mrs. Weaver! I'd like to talk with you about your trespassing, and I've got a shotgun," she shouted over his words. The man on the other side of the door looked around quickly. No sign of cameras or spy holes. He hadn't expected any, but he was careful. That was why he was alive and free when others were neither. There was no sign of telephone or electrical wires or even a radio or TV antenna. He knew from personal experience that cell phones didn't reach into this particular corner of the Mojave Desert. The old woman was truly alone. He smiled. With a smooth efficiency that told its own tale, he reached under his lightweight wind jacket. A gun appeared in his fist. "There's no need to be frightened," he said reassuringly. "I don't want to hurt you. I want to make you rich. I'll give you $2 million for the Book of the Learned. Won't you let me in so we can talk? I'll give you 60 seconds to get off my property." "Be reasonable, Mrs. Weaver. $2 million is a lot of money. It's better than anyone else will pay for what's left of that damn Druid book. 30 seconds. At least take my business card." The only answer he heard was the unmistakable slide of metal over metal as she readied the shotgun. He gauged the thickness of the stone and walls, the sun-hardened thick wood of the door, and the surprising strength of the prey. He would need armor-piercing bullets for the cabin, for her too. That was one tough old bitch. With a vicious curse, he turned, got in his car, and drove away from the very thing he wanted enough to kill for.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?